I used to be so obsessed with the image of Leonardo DiCaprio with the cigarette in his ear. Like, it was either in his ear or in his mouth or both. And I had only recently found out that those are stills from the Titanic. But at the time when I was younger and I found them, I wasn't really concerned with the details about the image. It was just the fact that, like, he was gorgeous. And I kept that image with me for a long time. And I remember when I watched Romeo and Juliet for the first time. It was a drama. It was a drama class in middle school. And I definitely could say it changed things for me. But one of the most recent DiCaprio films that I watched that left an impression on me was Wolf of Wall Street. I think I love the film in general. And I think it's brilliant. But there's something about Leonardo DiCaprio's approach to acting that is so predictable. And the movies that he's in, I think, are very traditional in their belief systems, because when I'm watching his movies, I get my thoughts reflected back to me. My reactions, my responses, my questions about the story end up literally projecting back to me through the film. For instance, I'll think something, or I'll think a question, and in the next scene the character will ask the same question. And I felt like there's something that I was saying before, though. I think he works so hard. Like, clearly the man works hard, right? But yet there's something standing in his way. Like, still. There's still something standing in his way, even though he's finally got his Oscar. It took a while. And not only did it take a while, but there's still like something in Leonardo DiCaprio's way. For me personally. And I'm trying to put my finger on it. Because for some reason he put so much effort in, and yet still the effort only seems to produce only half of the desired outcome. Like, only some of it. That's how his films leave me feeling only half fulfilled. Which I think is probably why I keep wanting more. Why I'm still watching his movies, because they only leave me half fulfilled. And for some reason I still have hope. I still have hope that the next time I watch a film, it will leave me feeling totally and completely fulfilled. But it just hasn't been the case, at least not yet. And I've just been like really, really optimistic when it comes to him. Because I think although they leave me half fulfilled, it's hear me out. It's sort of like, maybe the reason why I keep going back is because maybe he's not responsible for the other half. Like, maybe he's only supposed to leave me half fulfilled and the other half is for me. Like, I have to be able to give that to myself. And when I think about it that way, like when I meet him where he is, the experience I find is much more beneficial. Watching his films time and time again. And I felt like Wolf of Wall Street was phenomenal, but it didn't feel like acting. It also didn't feel like truly inspiring. Though it was really, really educated and very well put out and very well thought. The experience is kind of contradictory. And I feel like every time I watch a movie of his, I contradict myself. Because I remember how I felt the last time I watched a film of his. Like, what? Oh, maybe I just need to stop watching his movies. But I don't think that's it, because I'm going to want to watch it. Maybe it's about compromise. And And I wanted to watch Killers of the Flower Moon. I think that's what it's called. Or Flowers of the Killer Moon. It's a play on those words, okay? Those words are phrased in a particular way. Either way, I wanted to see that movie because it is a Martin Scorsese film. And not only is it a Martin Scorsese film, but it's Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio together again after Wolf Street. Wolf Street. Listen, it's like 2 a.m. Actually, it's 3 a.m. now. And I just wonder if he's like proud of his work, like what he's done over the years. Like I wonder what motivates him. If it's recognition. Because the movies that he picks feels like, or the characters, the roles, like the type of films that he chooses to make feel like a show. The films that he makes feel like he's trying to make a statement or he's trying to prove a point or prove himself, which I think in the end makes the acting feel like he's trying to prove a point. There it is. I had to get to it, but there's so many layers and doors in myself that I had to open in order to get to that point. And I just wonder what type of movies, I feel the films that he makes would completely and totally fulfill me if he wasn't trying to prove a point. Because I feel like when he picks characters, he's mindful of an audience, of the audience that were watching him. I mean, yeah, you could say maybe it's just the kind of characters that he likes, but no. Because the kind of movies that he makes, I think, place him in the box. The most impressive, the most original and creative and inspiring film that I've seen him make so far is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And really, I think it's only because it's a Tarantino film and Tarantino doesn't follow anyone else's rules except for his own. So I feel like as an actor, I mean, there's no way to work with Tarantino and deliver mediocrity. Is that a word? Mediocrity definitely sounds much more logical than mediocrity. But no, for real, I think that him in that film, he felt a lot less like he was trying to prove a point, because he didn't need to. I mean, it was a Tarantino film. What? That was the point. Because even in Inception, which I just watched today, but at some point I had to be like, okay, I'm gonna let it play, but I'm gonna stop trying to pay attention. I just feel like if nobody was watching, what kind of films would Leonardo DiCaprio make? Because I really don't think it would be the films that he's chosen over time. His movies felt like they were working towards that Oscar, which I feel like is why it took so long to get it. Because I think the truth is he didn't ever really need it. I don't think he needs recognition. I don't think he needs validation. Like, he's clearly... And, I think it surpasses talent as well. I just think he's so driven and dedicated that it just naturally makes him great at acting. Like, I don't think it's about talent. He just feels committed and dedicated. Which maybe by itself is kind of like a gift. I just think his motivation reflects in the quality of his films and the way that they resonate. But then again, maybe his motives are perfectly fine the way that they are.